everybody, this is Monica Maid, and welcome to my Money Funnel Secrets. The reason this is so exciting is because this is the most cutting edge, groundbreaking information on how to make money online on the internet. Now, as you know, a lot has changed as far as internet marketing goes. A lot has changed as far as making money on the internet. And years ago, I taught something called the New Wealth Ninja, New Wealth Warrior system, where I'd actually teach people how to make money online. In addition to that, I was doing my direct mail and also my hybrid online, offline types of marketing materials. And even since I've been doing that training, upwards of even the last 6 months, things have changed. A lot has changed with reference to making money online and utilizing my money funnel. And so rather recently, I came up with a strategy in which to make everything a lot easier to whereas you could actually basically press go and make the entire system work for you. But in addition to that, this is going to be a different strategy than what you're used to. It's not as easy as just simply signing up for Google AdWords and just throwing up a website and having a bunch of people run to your website by going through pay-per-click campaigns. As you know, that sort of died out many, many years ago. And so now, if you're looking for a strategy that's as easy as that, but yet is much more effective and actually works in today's online market, then you absolutely must watch this Money Funnel Secret presentation. Okay, so a little bit about what this is about. The basic secret, and I've taught this to my students time and time again, is that if you're ever looking for some way to make money, look at somebody else that's making money doing something or selling something that you're interested in selling or doing, and then basically just emulate what they're doing. And, I hate to be brash, but you're essentially what you're doing is you're ripping them off. And you don't want to be ripping anybody off as far as copyright infringement or anything like that, but you can actually emulate what they're doing. So, for example, if they have a website selling, say, a dietary supplement of some kind, maybe like a weight loss supplement, you look at their website and you sort of emulate what they're doing without ripping them off word for word. You never want to rip anybody off word for word. You want to be in legal compliance, but at the same time, if somebody's successful doing something, there's absolutely no excuse as to why you can't be successful selling and doing the exact same thing that they're doing online. So the good news, though, is that nowadays there's so many different tools that you can actually utilize to be able to actually see exactly what they're doing, exactly how they're advertising, exactly how many different types of ads that they have, exactly what their ads say, where they're getting their traffic from. You can get all of that information. It's completely 100% transparent. Well, the part that a lot of people don't tell you, though, is that the super smart marketers actually will do a hybrid offline and online marketing campaign. And even the smarter ones will actually just do offline campaigns and offline marketing because then it disallows your competitors of finding out exactly what you're doing. Now, you don't have to do it that way because doing anything direct mail or placing ads in magazines and so forth, that's a little bit more time consuming, and sometimes it's a little bit more costly to do it. Although if you actually at the end of the day did a cost comparison, you'd actually find out that direct mail marketing and using offline strategies such as space ads and so forth, that's actually a little bit cheaper than doing the online strategies because there's so much competition when it comes to pay-per-click campaigns, banner ads, and so forth, that it's actually driving up the price for those types of strategies. And so, people think, oh, it's just naturally cheaper and faster to do things online and online marketing, but in actuality, it really isn't at the end of the day if you actually, chop down and, did the analysis of your numbers. And so what you're going to be doing ideally as a very super smart entrepreneur, and again, this is not required to get started. You should probably do your entire campaign online, but eventually you're going to be wanting a hybrid online offline campaign because you don't want all your competitors to know what you're doing. Because the second you become that transparent, by having everything exclusively online for the marketing side, is that you are then opening yourself up for everybody else being able to see your campaign. So not only are you able to see their campaign and be able to rip off essentially what they're doing, basically word for word, step by step, but also then now when your competitors start to see that you're successful, they're also going to be able to have the same advantage that you did, to where they're going to be able to see everything you're doing, and they're going to be able to copy it word for word, exactly step by step the way you're doing it. So that's why you want some of it to be non-transparent, to whereas eventually what you're going to be doing when you get bigger and when you start hitting those $20,000 a day figures, and yes, you did hear me correctly, $20,000 a day is possible doing this. And even if you're total money funnel failure and you're only doing $1,000 a day, that's pretty damn good, if I don't say so myself. Because that could be anywhere from, depending on what you're doing exactly, $20,000 to $30,000 in profits a month being a money funnel failure. And so, this is very simple and easy to do if you're willing to follow the steps and strategies necessary to do it. So, what I wanted to do is give you the basics of essentially how this works and how you're going to be doing this so that you can fully understand exactly what this whole thing encompasses. Now, if you're super lazy, if you're one of those people that just wants to watch TV all day and you just want somebody to send you a check, this is not for you. I am one of those people. I'm a hard worker. Everybody knows that. But I'm also a smart worker, and I like to leverage my time and the value of my time as best as possible. So I'm not out there digging ditches to make money or anything like that. So this is not difficult like that. But if you're one of these super lazy individuals that doesn't want to do anything and just wants everybody else to do all the work for you, then just keep watching TV and keep making the money that you're not making right now. And then we'll keep it at that. This is for people that are willing to take the steps and the necessary work to be able to do this. Again, this work is not difficult, not hard to do, but there is a lot of moving parts with this. And those that are super successful doing this are willing to do everything that it takes to make this work. So please note, though, that you could do a lot of this 100% online. It's just that eventually you're going to want to do a hybrid online-offline marketing campaign, because then you become non-transparent to your competitors and then they can't rip you off. A lot of these marketing strategies that you are looking at or that you're thinking about doing, well, first of all, most of them are scams out there. But the ones that are actually legitimate, they only last for about 6 months before everybody, jumps in and creates such heavy dosages of competition that it's just very difficult, if not impossible, to make money doing it. So when you remove all the transparency and then you eventually go offline to drive your traffic into your funnel, then you'll be able to make a lot more money, and you can actually make this a very evergreen type of strategy, to whereas you can actually make this work for the next 5 or 10 years if you're willing to do the extra work by going offline to drive your traffic. So the way the funnel typically works is that you drive traffic into the top part of the funnel, which is the largest part of the funnel, and then what you'll do is you'll get sales through the funnel, and then the bottom part of the funnel, which is the smaller part, is where you actually make the money. And so obviously all of your leads going into the top of the funnel isn't going to result in a sale, but that's basically what a general money funnel looks like. And so essentially what you want to do is drive the most possible traffic into the top part of the funnel to get the most possible proceeds in the bottom of the funnel. And by that I mean that you use online traffic methods, you use offline traffic methods, and so forth. So that's essentially how the funnel works. So recently what I was doing is I was actually doing a little bit of a strategy here where I was, let's push this up a little bit so you guys can see it. I was recently in the process of rebooting my campaign for my supplements company, because most of you know, or those of you that know me well enough know, that I've actually gone through a process of shutting down my supplement company due to the fact that I was unhappy with the product line that I was selling. I was ridiculously successful with it, ridiculously successful, but it was a male enhancement supplement product, and even though it made a ton of money and actually worked really well with a lot of my customers that we had, I didn't like the clientele that we were servicing. There was a lot of weird guys that were calling the office, and of course I have an all-female staff, and it was just kind of awkward, and they didn't like taking those phone calls, and they didn't want to do it anymore, and I just didn't feel good about doing it, and so therefore I just completely shut down that part of the company. Then all of a sudden I had this epiphany one day when I was sitting outside, because I have a problem with depression. I've had a problem with depression all my life. I've been bipolar. I've been diagnosed twice with being bipolar. And so I do have a manic depressive side, but the problem is the majority of the time I'm depressed. And so I've been utilizing a variety of different supplements and trying to, naturally curtail a lot of the depression symptoms that I have. Because even though a lot of people who are not depressed think that it's just a matter of snapping out of it and just, find something that'll make you happy, there is actually a brain disorder. There's a brain chemistry disorder. And so I was laying outside in the sun, because the sun is actually an excellent way to help you curtail depression, believe it or not. Spending, only 30 minutes in the sun a day, if you have that luxury, can actually do wonders, just because of what it does with vitamin D and so forth in your system. And I was laying there, and I was actually in a somewhat of a meditative state, and all of a sudden I had this just epiphany. I was reading this book recently by a medical doctor who had written a book on using a variety of different amino acids and proteins to be able to supplement your diet, to be able to change the brain chemistry in order to be able to completely get rid of depression and depression symptoms. And so this book, though, I was reading is just so ridiculously complicated that you would literally need a set of Post-it notes set of tabs and a variety of different color highlighter pens to be able to keep up with what she's talking about, because she says, okay, well, if you need this and you need to do this, read chapters 3 and 6. But if you need to do this, you need to read chapters 7 and 9, and all this different flipping back and forth stuff. And I'm like, I appreciate the fact that this medical doctor put all of this work, time, and effort into this book, and outlining all these clinical studies that were highly successful. However, it was just very difficult for me to follow what she was doing because she didn't make it simplified. And a lot of doctors do that, where they're really good at what they do, but they don't make it really simple for laymen to do all this. I says, how cool would it be for me to put together a supplement package for people that do have anxiety and depression problems, and just create all the supplements that she wants everybody to take and put it into one singular package for people to be able to do, so that they don't have to go through this book and figure all this stuff out and figure out where to get all these supplements, and and then they have to take like a set of 5 or 6 bottles of different things, because not everything has everything in it, not every supplement has everything. And so I was just thinking about this. I'm like, this is really cool. So I decided to completely and totally reboot my supplement company. And through this money funnel system, it's made all the difference in the world. I'm telling you, this has changed everything. This is a major game changer as far as what I'm trying to show you here. So what I initially did when I was doing my research was that I first typed in depression supplements, because when people are ready to buy, or they're looking to buy something, that's what they're going to type in as something that they're actually looking for, to initially start my research on how to create my own funnel, my own money funnel for this particular product. And so what I found was there was a lot of listings for this in lifta.com. And I'm going to show you exactly what the whole research process is, and what it looks like. And there it is again, to be able to, if you wanted to do a sponsored listing through Google. So you start the process of the front end, meaning that if I was a consumer of this product, or if I was looking for products like this to be a consumer, how would I go about doing the initial research? Now, whenever I do any kind of research on any type of product line that I want to potentially do, I always go to Google, because Google will have the most concentrated search on any type of product or topic than any other website out there, or when any other search engine out there. So I always start on Google, even though I probably don't plan on, marketing on Google, because typically I'll market on a lot of variety of different ways. I'm a huge offline marketer, due to the fact that I don't want to be transparent to my competitors. I don't want my competitors to immediately be able to see what I'm doing. And you're going to see as we go along through this presentation exactly how people can have that immediate access to exactly what you're doing if you are that transparent, if you only do things exclusively online for marketing. And so this is how I started the whole process. So I want to see who my competitors are, what type of websites they have, what the websites look like. And so this Enlifta, you can see this box where the Enlifta logo is, in the middle of the screen there. You'll see that they actually have a video. So if you actually go to their website, which I recommend that you do, because it will be a good learning experience for you, because these videos that they're doing now, they're like videos that there's basically a voiceover on the video to a script. And there may or may not be music to it, but there's a person who actually draws out the whole script of it. So to get an idea of what I'm talking about, you should probably go to this website. It's enlifta.com, just like the name of the site here, and the logo. And you can actually take a look at what their video looks like. And so whenever you want to jack or lift or rip off somebody's entire funnel, you simply look at the people that are doing the stuff, they're selling the stuff. You take a look at their website and you actually order what they have. So for example, if you were interested in competing with this Enlifta.com company, you would basically go to their site, see what they have, and look at their exact funnel. Now, the only way you're going to ever know what their entire funnel looks like is by actually going through the process of purchasing as a consumer. But I strongly recommend that you take screenshots for every single screen that you end up on as you go through the process. So when you whip out your credit card and you start the process of purchasing, you want to basically take screenshots of every single thing that goes on. So this is the next screen that happens after you click buy or buy now. And that basically they want to get you on an auto shipment. And the auto shipment or continuity programs are probably the smartest way to make tons and tons of money. Now, for those of you that don't know anything about my male enhancement business that I've had, it's under my health supplement company, that actually continues to pull in tons of money every single month, even though I'm not advertising the product anymore. And I have not advertised it since about September 2015. And so it still brings me tons of money because of our continuity program. So even though I'm no longer doing any advertising for that business, I'm still making a ton of money on the product line due to the fact that people have auto shipments every single month, and they don't quit because the product does work. So that's what you want to have ideally, as a product that actually works for people. So you don't want to just put sawdust in a pill or a capsule and sell it to people, because then you're not going to get that continuity. So you do want to find a product or a supplement that's going to work. And by the way, this is not just for health supplements. This could be for anything. You can have information publishing types of products. You could sell products on stock trading. You could sell products on just about anything online. So it does not have to be supplements. However, the reason I'm illustrating supplements too is because it's the least, I guess you could say, troublesome, lowest barrier of entry business, meaning that you don't have to have, a head full of knowledge to be able to write a book. You don't have to spend the time to write a book like you would with an information product. With an information product, you do have to sit down and have some kind of level of expertise with something to be able to offer to people, to not give them some shabby, shammy product. You do have to have some level of expertise. Just like I do with all of my information publishing products that I have a high level of expertise with business credit building, with apartment building investing. So I'm able to actually put that on paper and offer it to people as a very legitimate way of people finding financial freedom. You have to be able to have that to be able to do an information product, and most people do not have that. And so the next best thing to be able to make a lot of money without having that level of expertise is to get involved in some kind of product. Now, the product does not have to be health supplements, but it does have to be something that you can, manufacture and make a lot of units for, to be able to sell to people. And I should also mention too that if you are going to do a health supplement product, which is a really good way of making a lot of money without using many brain cells on your part, because with an information product, you do have to have knowledge, you do have to offer webinars, you do have to offer trainings to people. It's a constant treadmill with it. And the reason I continue on that path is because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy training people, I enjoy teaching people, and I enjoy seeing people realize their financial freedom after having that dream for so long and never being able to attain it with other systems and products out there. So that's what keeps me in the game of information publishing. However, if you don't have the type of energy and work ethic that I personally have, then I recommend you get involved in selling products instead. And one of the easiest products to sell would be nutritional supplements, just because of how easy it is to get these supplements. Like, for example, we get all of our supplements from a company called, well, it's actually called Palmer, but it's also called NHS Labs, which is located in Star, Idaho. And if you're ever going to do health supplements, make sure that anything that you have is actually manufactured in the United States of America. You do not want to buy stuff from China, even though it's very easy to go to Alibaba.com or AliExpress.com and get stuff from China. And they'll even put Made in America on there. They don't give a damn. They can care less, because they hold no liability to what happens. If people in America keel over and die from their product, they have zero liability. You have the liability, because you're the American that brought it into the country, and you're the American selling the product as Made in America. So you can get in a lot of trouble. I know people that have done jail time because they have brought stuff in from China that says Made in America on it. People got really sick. Some people died, and they ended up doing they got criminal charges for it. So if you're ever going to sell any health supplement product, make sure that it is a product made in America. Because if it's made in America, then the manufacturer of the product actually holds the liability. They have to have a liability certificate. They have to manufacture in an FDA approved and audited plant. And so again, we use a company called NHS Labs, which is located in Star, Idaho. It's actually in the outskirts of Boise. We've been there. It's a legitimate company. We've been there. They have a very huge, very clean manufacturing facility there. But there's a variety of different companies that you can actually get what they call private label, meaning that they'll have like a stock formula. Say, for example, let me give you the male enhancement, example, because that's what we've been doing for many, many years. They have a stock formula. They call it Herbal V. And so what we do is we actually put a different label on it, and we have our own supplement name on there. So that's what private label means. And so basically what you do is you have them make a label for you. They'll make the label, they'll put the label on there, and they'll ship you the product. And so don't ask about drop shipping. Again, that's the lazy person's way of doing things. You don't want to drop ship the product, because then the drop shipper is going to make all the money and you're going to make nothing. So if you're that lazy to where you want somebody else to do all the work for you, you want somebody else to market the product, you want somebody else to ship the product, that just continue watching TV, continue making no money, and let those of us that have the energy and the drive and the motivation to do this, to make the money, people like me, for example. So, I'll keep making the money doing this kind of stuff, and I'll only teach those that are willing and able and are enthusiastic enough for doing it themselves. So yes, you will be getting, several boxes of the product. Hopefully you have a small corner in your house that you can actually house the boxes, because you don't need a lot of space for these. This is the cool thing about these supplements, is that they're light, they're easy to ship, they cost almost nothing to ship, and you don't even need a warehouse full of stuff. You just basically need a corner in your house. And I highly recommend you try to keep this as a small home-based business for as long as humanly possible, because the second you get a warehouse, the second you're getting employees, all of a sudden your profits start to disappear like that. You'll need insurances, you need all this other stuff, and when you keep it a home-based business, you basically have no overhead. So try to keep this a one-man band as long as possible, and then you'll seriously be able to make anywhere from $1,000 to $20,000 a day if you do this correctly. So with all that said, it's very easy for you to be able to find the formulations of these types of supplements that you are finding on these different sites. But you don't want to be competing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You don't want to be doing the weight loss supplement. You don't want to be doing the male enhancement supplement, because everybody is doing those. So you want to find something that has a really high search value. And this would go into keywords research, but you want to find supplements, or you want to find products that a lot of people are searching for, and they're searching for remedies for, but yet not every Tom, Dick, and Harry is selling them. And again, weight loss is like the worst one you could do, because everybody and their mom is selling those types of formulations and supplements. Same with male enhancement now. Ever since I started teaching what I do a few years back, when we started doing it, all of a sudden now I have every student who wants to do it. And now all of a sudden there's no money to be made in it unless you're willing to do a lot of expensive offline marketing for it. And so you want to do stuff like this, not necessarily the depression, because as we got into this part or portion of the business, I have discovered that there's a lot more competition in there than I initially thought. But stuff like, arthritis, all natural arthritis, all natural joint pain, different products like that a lot of the baby boomers are looking for, because baby boomers have a huge expendable income in many cases. They actually have over 50% of the wealth in this country, those that are baby boomers, and they have a lot of money to spend. So if you start thinking in terms of what do baby boomers want as far as an all-natural supplement, a lot of people are going for all-natural supplements. They don't trust the pharmaceutical companies anymore. They're realizing that a lot of these pharmaceutical drugs are making them sick. And, I'm not saying that for all pharmaceuticals, but I am saying that for a lot of pharmaceuticals, it's causing liver damage and all this other stuff. So people are starting to look for natural remedies for things. So start thinking in terms of, what do baby boomers want? What are they looking for? There's people looking for energy pills. There's people looking for, pep pills. There's people looking for, stuff for, like I said, joint pain, arthritis. Even greens, just basic greens to be able to get their basic nutrients, colon cleanse. These are different things that people are doing high search volumes for, but yet don't have crazy competition that you have to compete against. So those are the types of products that you're looking for and looking at doing. Then the next thing is, you're going to want to find a company that can make it for you. I recommend NHS Labs, which is located in Star, Idaho. And you just Google them. I think it's nutritionmanufacturer.com or nutritionmanufacturing.com, one of those two websites, and you can actually get directly to their site. And then you basically create a name of your product. You do have to create a private label. Do not buy the product wholesale, because you can, but do not do that. You actually, what you want to do is create your own name. It could be anything. It could be, kick-ass colon cleanse. It could be anything, but you do have to create your own name for your own private label product, so that people can't just type in whatever their stock brand is and get it a lot cheaper at their website wholesale than they would from you. So you don't want them to be able to do that. So you create your own private label brand. Again, it could be called anything that you can create. I would recommend going to the USPTO.gov website to make sure that nobody else has that name trademarked under the category of dietary supplements, just to make sure that you're not infringing on anybody else's name. But the more pharmaceutical looking you can make your label, the more pharmaceutical sounding you can make your name. That is a really good secret, a good solid secret when it comes to selling supplements. Is that if it looks like a label of a I guess you could say pharmaceutical grade type of product, like plain with just like these plain almost courier letters on it, and if it's like a really it sounds almost like a pharmaceutical type of product, those tend to do a lot better than other types of products out there. Okay, so then you actually take a look at the funnel. You view the funnel. I recommend going to spyfood.com. That's one of the secret websites that I use, whereas I actually take a look and see what is actually what the competitor is doing. And again, remember I was telling you about transparency. Whereas when you are fully transparent and you're doing 100% of your marketing online, everybody else is going to be able to see what you're doing. So within 6 months, you're pretty much done, because that's how long it takes for these types of tool websites to catch up to everything that you're doing. It's about 6 months. Whereas they can actually pull all of your activity through, they have these bots that go out, and these like robot things that go out there automatically into the web world, and they see what everybody's doing. And so if you do none of your marketing offline, everybody's going to be able to copy exactly what you're doing. And so basically you could take a look at everything that this company is doing. And again, I recommend that you actually go to this website, this enlifta.com website, because you can get an idea of what their video looks like, because that's the type of video that you're going to have to create when you start initially creating your funnels. In fact, if you can create a multitude of different videos for different parts of your funnel, then that will actually get the lion's share of the business in that particular market. So you take a look and you can actually get all of their information. You can get exactly what they pay for, how many paid ad words that they have, or pay-per-click words. PPC is pay-per-click, which would be Google AdWords or Yahoo, Bing, all of those platforms. And so you can actually take a look at all of their top keywords here. As you can see, depression treatment, depression medication, supplements, vitamin supplements. Those are their top keywords that they pay for. And again, this is fully transparent. This actually is part of this website before you sign up for it. It's about $79 a month. And again, do all your research in 1 month and then cancel after 1 month. So basically you can do all your research on every type of supplement or any type of product that you're willing to try based on a short list of different competitors that you found online. And you can actually do this. You can actually get a 1 month subscription to spyfood.com for $79 and cancel after a month. Just kick ass on research so that you don't have to keep paying $79 a month. It's a very, very small, amount of money to pay. And then the other thing too is any of your competitors out there that you might want to copy, make sure you purchase their product. Take screenshots of every single page that happens after you pay for the product to see what their funnel looks like, because you're going to be ripping off their funnel. You're going to be copying what they're doing, because if they're making a ton of money, then you'll easily be able to make a ton of money. And even if you only make a fraction of what they're making, it's still going to be a lot more than what you're making now, and it's not going to be a lot of work to do. In fact, in many cases, you're going to have a multitude of different funnels. You're going to have maybe a funnel for the arthritis, supplement. Maybe you'll have one for anti-aging supplement. Maybe you'll have one for, a green type of supplement or a fitness greens type of supplement. So you're going to have a set of different funnels. Each funnel can make anywhere from like $1,000 to $5,000 a day if it's set up correctly, and if it's one that's not a highly competitive category that has enough search volume for it. So you can even take a look at all of their ads that they have. Literally, this is 100% transparent, meaning that you can find everything that these people are doing, to whereas you can literally copy and paste it. Again, you're not copying word for word. I'm not, promoting copyright infringement or anything like that. But, if they have their video off to the left side, you want your video off to the left side. If they have a buy now button that's green, you're going to have a buy now button that's green. If they have a buy now button that's flashing, you're going to have a buy now button that's flashing. You're going to try to emulate as much of theirs as possible, make it even almost look the same. But again, you don't want to fall into the trap of copyright infringement, because obviously that is illegal. And so you could also take a look at all of these competitors. You have Unlifta.com, Protozen.com, and remember what I said about trying to make it sound like a pharmaceutical grade? That Protozen, that actually falls into that category of making their products sound very, I guess you could say, pharmaceutical grade, and that's actually a secret behind nutritional supplements, is to name your product something that sounds pharmaceutical-like. There's FisherWallace.com, Tranquiline.com, and then this TibetanHerbs.com. So those are the top ad competitors. You should check all those people out. Check them all out and see if, what their funnels look like. Because if you're serious about competing in this space, this particular supplement space, which I don't really recommend this particular one just because of the fact that I found just in doing this, that the depression supplement thing is a lot more competitive than I thought. It's up there with the male enhancement and the other stuff that we've been doing, including weight loss and so forth. However, if that's a space that you did want to compete with, then this is how the whole thinking process goes. And so you actually go through the process of checking out all these websites, going forth and buying all the products, taking screenshots of every single funnel page after the first after you place your order to see what comes up and what the upsells are, because you are going to be copying their exact funnel. Okay, so these are all the sites that you would check out, and then this is another thing too that you could actually see where they're competing together. I don't find a lot of use for this particular element of SpyFu. So I know some people do, but I don't, because I could care less what other people are, what the core keywords are. But when you notice that a bunch of the websites are using the same keywords, then you know that those are really hot keywords. But you want to be able to encompass as many keywords as possible if in fact you are using pay-per-click. So as I mentioned, it's $79. I have nothing to do with SpyFu. I get no proceeds or anything off of the use of SpyFu. And if this is something that you want to do, you do have to do some type of research, and I do recommend you just pay for 1 month. Pay for 1 month. It's $79. And then what you're going to do after that is just kick ass on doing as much research as possible and then cancel it. SpyFu is very easy to cancel. I've done that a number of different times where I would sign up and then cancel, because I'm not going to be paying for an ongoing plan forever. And I don't know of anybody else that wants to do that either, unless this is their business where they do this for other people. But since that's not your business, then you're just going to pay for it once and then just kick ass and do your research. So, okay, so as you notice, we do have some ads here in the middle. Protizen is number 1 on the ad side. And this is Google Adwords, so basically they pay for a sponsored ad through Google. So basically they're number 1, and then Trampoline, that's number 2. So you check out every single person's website here to see what they're doing. Now, if you notice, though, this is one of the things that I promised to share with you guys, is that Google has changed a lot. Years ago, I was actually Google slapped a few different times, actually, back in 2010. And so, Google is really difficult. You could sell supplements through the Google AdWords system, but if you're planning on doing any kind of information product or information publishing, especially when it comes to like any type of home-based business plan or anything like that, forget about it, because it's not going to happen with Google AdWords. Google, though, is one of the strongest, most powerful methods of being able to advertise online. That and Facebook are actually the 2 top ways of advertising online right now. But the cool thing about selling a health supplement is that if you do your website correctly, and again, you're going to want to emulate a lot of what your competitors are doing. Why reinvent the wheel when you could basically see what they're doing? Because if you see what they're doing and you emulate it, don't copy it, because Google will slap you for that. But you want to emulate it as closely as possible. Then they will allow you to advertise with Google AdWords. And again, there's nothing more powerful than Google right now. And next to it would be Facebook. And even then, I wouldn't say Facebook is anywhere near as powerful as Google AdWords. So if you can actually get your product into the Google AdWords pay-per-click system, then that could actually set you for life, and that could easily make you $20,000 a day if you do this correctly with, several funnels. And so, what Google wants to see is a lot of content on the page. So they're not looking for a page that has just a video and buy now. That's not what they're going to allow, and that's not what they're going to accept. And so again, you want to check out all your competitors to see exactly what they have, and you just simply Google it. Just type in whatever supplement you're looking for, see what comes up, and then emulate their site as best as you possibly can. Because you know that if Google allows them to stay on there, then they're going to allow you to stay on there as well. They're not going to slap you or shove you off the site, or shove you off out of the the pay-per-click campaign if they're allowing your competitors to stay on there. And then check it out through SpyFu, because if you check it out through SpyFu.com to see how long that they've been advertising on there, and you know that they haven't been slapped and they've been advertising for, say, 6 months or a year or 2 years, then you know that Google is allowing them to stay on there and on their site, to whereas they must be doing something correctly. So if they have a privacy policy page, you want to have a privacy policy page. If they have a guarantee page, you want to have a guarantee page. If they have a frequently asked questions page, you want to have it. everything that your competitors have, you have to have if you want to stay on Google AdWords. So if you take a look also, you want to see where your competitors are as far as what they're charging. You want to see what their average is so that you're not, charging $80 for a bottle of something when everybody else is between, $30 and $40. You don't want to be, outpricing yourself. You do have to stay competitive. Even if your product is 1,000% better, does not matter. You do have to stay competitive. So you check everything out. The next thing you want to do also is check out the organic search. See what comes up. This is the most powerful part of this. Okay, so listen very, very carefully, because it's not just going to be about pay-per-click. It's also going to be about going on sites as a banner advertiser for the sites that come up with organic. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm searching for anything nowadays, I don't just click on Google AdWords ads, the sponsored ads. I mostly look to see what's in the organic section, meaning that I'm looking for the blogs, I'm looking for articles, I'm looking for different things like that, because I know that they're not going to try to sell me something, they're just going to give me some information. So for example, if I'm looking for information on all natural supplements to help with depression, I'm not going to be clicking on ads. I'm going to be looking for blogs and articles written by people that maybe know something about what's going on and know something that could teach me something about, all natural supplements. And so this is the newest way of making money online. Now, it's not new because people have been doing it, obviously, but this is what you need to pay careful attention to, because it's very easy to just whip up a Google AdWords campaign. You could even copy and paste all of your competitors' keywords from SpyFu and then just, basically parlay it and throw it into your Google pay-per-click campaign. That's how easy all that stuff is. But anybody can do that. Okay, this is where it's going to take a little bit more work than the average Joe. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going into the organic, and some of these organic ones, don't be afraid to go down the page and end up even on the next page, because a lot of these, see for example, WebMD.com, you see also MayoClinic.org, you say psychologytoday.com. Those are going to cost a pretty penny to be able to put banner ads on, because you're competing with the pharmaceutical companies to be able to put banners up there. You're competing against Amazon. You're competing against, these really large companies that can pay a lot of money for banner advertising, especially the pharmaceutical companies. They will pay anything for magazine ads. We found in the past that, when we wanted to put different advertisements in different medical journals and medical magazines, it's very difficult to be able to get a reasonable rate, because you have all of these pharmaceutical companies that are willing to pay literally anything to be in there. In fact, they have all the money in the world to be able to pay for those magazine ads. And so it's very difficult to be able to get a decent rate. And it's the same goes for a lot of these online medical types of websites. It's going to be very difficult for you to compete with those. So what you're going to be doing is scanning down the page, going to, the Joe Blow blog guy's page, or, it would literally be some guy that just does this part-time, and he has a blog, and he talks about maybe depression, he talks about eating well, who knows what he talks about. Maybe he's just some workout guy that talks about his workout routines. And so that's going to be at the bottom of the page when it comes to the organic searches. And so you're going to actually click to see which ones you can actually get advertising on. If you notice this particular page for health, this is actually Health Magazine, and they actually do a hybrid online offline type of magazine. And you'll see that Amazon's there. So to be able to compete with Amazon, see, FedEx is at the top. You're not going to be able to compete with the advertising with those types of companies. You're not going to be able to throw in the type of money that FedEx is throwing in for their banner to be able to compete with them, or to have them remove FedEx's over yours. And so don't worry about all of that, because you're not going for these types of websites. You're not going to be able to make that work. But you're going to take a look to see, can I advertise, and try. I mean, see what the rate is going to be, to see if it is affordable, because sometimes they have something called remnant space, whereas maybe they have a slow time, or maybe they have certain banners that'll come up maybe between 2 and 4 in the morning, and nobody wants those spots, and so maybe they'll give you a really good hell of a deal. You never know until you ask. So just don't automatically assume you can't get a spot there. They might even include an extra space on their site for you somewhere, just to be able to accommodate your ad that they didn't have before, just to be able to take your money. So you don't know. So don't just assume that you can't get in there. But in reality, it's going to be toward the bottom of the organic page, and it's going to be the stuff that's under It's going to be about the second half of the page. So basically the second half and down on the organic side, that you're going to be able to find the different blogs and article sites that you're going to be able to realistically advertise on. And then you're going to take note of who they all are. So we've already sort of knocked out health.com, which is at the top of this page, but everydayroots.com, everydayhealth.com, drwheel.com, those are all viable prospects for where you can advertise and do your banner advertising on. So the further you go down the list, on that first page, the more viable and affordable your options are going to be. So this is this drwheel.com guy. And basically, you check out his page, you check out the other ads there. As you can clearly see at the top, there's a Mega Food. That's, obviously a company that sells supplements. They're probably a medium size or small company. And what you could do is click on that, see what they have as far as their funnel, what their funnel looks like. But more importantly, though, you want to find out what other advertisers are on the site. You can see the Tranquiline to the right where it says click here to learn more. Remember, that was part of our list that we had done when we did our spy food search. So there we go. I mean, that's where they're at. You're very clearly and quickly being able to find and latch on to where your competitors are, and it's very clear that this is one of the strategies that they're using. They're actually going on these small blog sites. So actually, this is the tranquiline.com website. And you can take a look at their site. You should always see what their sites look like. I don't particularly agree to how their site is set up. You need videos now. Everything's about video. You have to have video as part of your funnel to be able to make things work. People want to see stuff. They want to hear stuff. They want to hear somebody's voice. They want to be presented something. And so when people, the first thing that I do, I'm a very busy person. So if I'm looking at all these words, the second I get to a site, I'm clicking out of it. It just looks boring. This woman on the side here to the right, she does absolutely nothing for the advertisement at all. So that's kind of a waste of space there. In fact, maybe that's where they should have their video, or they should have something to where people can be proactive in the process of clicking on something. So yes, you should have the words there, but what should happen to be constructed, if these people would make 10 times more money than what they're making now if they would do it the way I would tell them to do it. And basically the way they should have it is, find the tranquility of Tranquiline. That headline there, well, first of all, that's a bad headline. That's not a good headline. But they should have that headline underneath a video. There should be a video. The first thing that people should look at is a video, and then that headline should be right under that, or even the headline could be above the video. But either way, there should be a video that people could see right away, and then all the words and sales piece should be underneath the video, so that you can target two types of audiences. One, the people that want to see stuff, the visual people like myself, and then you're also, targeting the people that want to read more into it. So you're targeting both sides. You should not just target one type of audience. So they did this wrong, but they're making a ton of money being a money funnel failure. This is a company that I would call a money funnel failure, and I already know that these people are making upwards of $5,000 to $6,000 a day. Don't ask me how I know that. I already know that. There's a reason I know that, and I'm not going to reveal my information as far as how I find that information out. But these people are considered a money funnel failure, and they're making anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 a day. That's a day, not a month, a day. So this is essentially what you're doing is you're taking a look, you're saying, what can I copy? What can I improve upon? So you click and see what their funnel looks like. And again, what you'll do is you'll actually go through the entire funnel. Now, I recommend that you go through the best funnel possible. So if you don't have money to be buying all these different products, and I don't blame you, then just save your money for the one funnel that you find that is the one that you want to emulate. Like, for example, like we talked about earlier, one of the competitors that we were looking at, they had a video. Okay, well, that would be a funnel that we want to focus in on, because your site is going to have a video to start off the entire process. Yes, you'll have video and hopefully some sales letter piece underneath the video, but you're going to have a video, okay? You have to have a video in today's day and age. People respond to videos. People want to see videos. People want to be presented to. People want to hear somebody's voice. You have to have a video. And so find the competitor that's doing really well, that has the setup, the funnel that you want to hijack, basically. You don't want to be just buying everybody's stuff, because these may not be the funnels that you want. So you'll take screenshots of every single portion of the funnel to be able to see how you're going to emulate it. So this is the first part of this person's funnel, this Tranquility Labs, and this is basically what they're making you do. They're making you pay for 2 bottles of this stuff, And I'm assuming then that they're putting you on auto shipment. All of these companies seem to be putting everybody on auto shipment. So note to self, put people on auto shipment, but I'd strongly recommend that you give people an option to whereas maybe they just want to buy 2 or 3 months. So you allow them that option where you give them a killer deal to buy 3 months of the product in lieu of going on auto shipment, because then you're going to have a leg up on the competition, because you're not offering, you're not pushing people and making them go into an auto shipment, because I want to try a product first. I've gotten to the point where I want to see if the product works and then I'll go on the auto shipment. So what you want to do is you want to give people an option. Go on auto shipment for this price or get like a 90-day supply for this price. So then that way people have the option of trying the product, and then when you ship the product out to them, you give them an incentive for signing up for the auto shipment at that time. If you have a really good product that works, then people will appreciate the fact that you gave them the opportunity without forcing them into a shipment program that they might be afraid that they can or cannot cancel later. But also too, if you have a really good product that works, people absolutely will go on the auto shipment. And so you the owner of the business should not be afraid of this, unless you are selling sawdust in a bottle. That doesn't work. So here's another part of this drwheel.com, which is again a smaller blog article site on, I guess, depression and other medical types of stuff. And you can see the Tranquility at the bottom. They have another ad too. They have another banner ad. So you can actually go on any of these types of article sites or blog sites and actually find out about how you can advertise. And this is what it looks like for drwheel.com. You can actually go in. He sort of gives you a rundown of his media kit and how many average people he has that are coming into his funnel. And you actually can request a proposal from him. That's how easy it is with all of these sites. Okay, again, this is stuff that nobody else is going to tell you, and I bet you this is stuff that you probably haven't seen before. This is how powerful this online marketing system is for the money funnel, and I'm not done yet. I have a lot more information to give to you. Okay, so this is another blog site. It's called healthline.com. As you can clearly see, here again, we have Tranquility Labs. And, it just makes me so mad when I see this, too, because I see how sucky their website is and how they can improve it just as a marketing expert. Some people call me a marketing genius. I don't know if I go that far, but, seeing how they can improve upon their site, getting rid of that cheesy photograph of that lady, adding a video, punching up their headline, punching up all of their ad copy. I mean, they would be making 10 times more money than what they're making now if they would do it my way. But again, they're considered a money funnel failure, and this is how much money they're making. They're making between $5,000 and $6,000 a day. A day. You heard me correctly. A day being a money funnel failure. Okay? So imagine if you were a money funnel failure and if you failed even worse than they did, you could be making even $500 a day. Whip out a calculator. Tell me how much that is. Okay? If you're only going Monday through Friday, that your money funnel failure is $15,000 a month. If you're that much of a failure, making only $500 a day, and don't tell me that you're making that already, otherwise you probably wouldn't be listening to my video. Okay, now you take a look again, a little bit further down the website. You can see there the Latuda. That blue ad there to the left, that's actually a pharmaceutical company. And some of these sites that are larger, that's what you're going to be competing against. But again, don't be afraid to inquire about the advertising, because they might very well just whip up another banner section on their site if they know that you're going to come in there and pay for, the banner. So don't hold back and don't not put your proposal in and don't not inquire. Inquire anyway, because you never know, you might get a kick-ass deal, or it's very easy. It's not like print advertising where in a newspaper or a magazine they have to create another page to give you space. With online advertising, they just basically move a couple things over and just extend their page a little longer, and they're going to take your money for it. Trust me, it doesn't matter how much you can or cannot offer them, they will make space on their page for you. Okay. Now, this is another website. I'm not going to tell you the name of it because I'm actually going to be discussing this in my upcoming event that you're going to be coming to, that I'm going to see you at very, very shortly. And basically what this is this is a secret website. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but this actually will show you exactly where they're getting their traffic from. So Fisher Wallace, that was one of the competitors that we had discussed earlier that we had found on spyfood.com, if you recall, when we were doing our initial research. These are all the top referring sites. Yes, you can advertise on Amazon. They're getting their this is everywhere that they're getting all of their referring traffic from, which means that they're paying for advertisements on all of these sites. And if you could see, it says see 26 more referring sites. They have about 30 something, 31 or 32 referring sites that they use. You can actually not only know exactly where they're advertising, but what all of their advertisements look like, what all their ads look like. So you can emulate their ads. You can emulate where they're advertising. You can even get details on exactly how much they're paying. And what you need to do is then go to every single referring website and advertise where they're advertising. Very, very simple to do. Okay? How difficult is this? I mean, you would literally have to be semi-brain dead to not be able to pull this off. That's how easy all of this stuff is. So what should you do now? Well, first of all, you need to think about whether or not this is something that you want to do, because I don't want to train people that are lazy. I'm sick of training people that are lazy. That's one of my things that I'm going to be working on for 2016 is only training who I call my warriors, and those are the people that are willing to put the time, effort, energy, and have the enthusiasm and motivation to do all this. So if you're not one of those people, I don't want to work with you, and I have no interest in even talking to you, just because I've put a lot of time and effort and energy into working with people that just simply don't take the next step. They don't pull the trigger. They don't get off their ass. They make excuses. And if you're one of those people and you're like, well, can I find a company that could drop ship? And can I find a company that could do all this for me? It's like, well, you know what? If you're that lazy, just leave the making money to me and to all my other students who want to continue making money, and then you can make no money. I mean, that's just how it is. It's breaking down to that. So you need to determine if this is important enough for your family and your financial future or not. And only you know the answer to that. I don't have that answer for you. And then, of course, you know that you do have the scruples to be able to do this. Because if you're sitting there understanding what I'm saying, and if you're able to breathe and read basic English, then you do have the capability of doing this, okay? So just know that you do have the capability of doing this. Next, you need to register as a Viper Wealth member to have member access to my Viper Wealth. You could choose gold or platinum to be able to take advantage of the rapid changes in both aggressive and passive income. I'm changing Viper Wealth up a lot. So if you were a Viper Wealth member years ago, Viper Wealth is going to be different this time for you. The reason it's different is because before I only solely and exclusively focused on real estate investing. This time it's going to be both aggressive and passive income together, both monthly in the monthly newsletter, as well as all of the trainings, the webinars, the workshops that you're going to be provided and afforded, to whereas you're going to know exactly what's happening in our cutting edge, very fast paced changing economy that we have now. It's no longer an acceptable idea for you to read a book about online marketing and then think that it's going to carry you for the next 2 years. Not going to happen. Same with passive income. Same with real estate investing. Everything is changing so quickly that unless you're in the loop constantly and constantly being trained and constantly being brought up to speed on everything, you're just not going to make it as far as the new economy goes. And you need to be brought up to speed with both aggressive, which is the stuff I was just talking about in this presentation, and of course passive income, which is ultimately where you're going to be funneling your money to from all the money that you make from your money funnel. And that would be apartment building investing mostly. But I also talk about mobile home park investing. I also talk about, every once in a while, I'll talk about like an apartment building flip, different projects I'm working on. So there's a lot of different ways to make money in passive income real estate these days. And you do need to be brought up to speed on everything monthly as it comes to you. So that's what Viper Wealth is going to do for you. And then you could choose either gold or platinum. And all of those details are located at viperwealth.com. So it's not like I need to explain everything to you, because there's two different packages, two different courses that you can only get by registering and signing up as one of the members, gold or platinum. And you cannot get those packages or those courses any other way. You can't buy them. You do have to register as a member. And then, of course, you'd have direct access to me by being either a platinum or a gold member of Viper Wealth. So, again, if you want to be in the loop, you want to be part of a network, you want to be held accountable, because being held accountable is so important when it comes to, realizing and attaining your success. There's so many students out there who they go to a seminar of mine or they attend a training, and they're all jazzed up about it, and then all of a sudden they feel so lonely, they don't know what to do, they don't, they want to access somebody. That people try to call me at my office all the time, and unfortunately I don't have time unless it's pre-scheduled, sometimes weeks, sometimes even months in advance. People can't just call my phone at my office and talk to me. That's just not the way it's going to be. However, when you're dealing with Viper Wealth and you're going to be part of the Viper Wealth access, you'll actually get call-in days to where you can pick up the phone on certain days during certain blocks of time where you can pick up the phone and talk to me directly. And you'll have that every single month. And that's powerful. That is extremely powerful to have that, because there's so many students that have questions and they just feel like they want to be part of the loop and they want to know more additional details about things, but they can't access me. This is the first time I'm offering this for several years. Viper Wealth was something that I decided to put to rest when I went into semi-retirement. And now that I'm doing my Monica Maid reboot, I'm back in action full time, full force. And now I have the energy and, I guess you could say, the recharged batteries to be able to bring you guys into, 2016 and beyond. So, this is it. If you guys want to be part of the loop, part of the network, be held accountable, know exactly what you're doing, be focused, be given tips, opportunities, be in the loop on everything, you do have to be part of Viper Wealth to do that. And then you need to register for my next Money Funnel event at funneltowealth.com, whereas you'll actually get full training on exactly what to do with this money funnel. It's not enough to know how to do all the research that I just sort of outlined to you in this entire presentation, but you have to have the funnel. Remember what I said as far as having that video, having the video, and then having the multiple screen funnels to be able to bring people into the order process? I can actually provide those exact pre-done money funnels for you. And that means that the funnels are done, the videos are done, everything is done for you. You just have to show up to the next event to be able to get the funnel. And yes, I can get you the funnel. Again, the funnel actually has everything. It has the video, it has all of the elements to the funnel, all the multiple pages to the funnel. Everything is already done for you. But again, I'm not just going to give that funnel to anybody. I need people that are serious, that know how to work the funnel system, that know the steps, that have the action plan. I can't just give a funnel just to somebody, because they're not going to know really what to do with the funnel, and they're going to be irresponsible with how they treat and handle the funnel. This is only for my warriors, the people that are truly serious about making money in this business, not just for any fly-by-night who just wants some get-rich-quick scheme. That's not what I'm interested in working with. So those of you that are serious, that want the money funnel already done for you, including all the videos and all the funnel pages already set up for you, then you're going to come to my next event. And then, of course, I always tell people that if you're serious and you want this and you want to set up your funnel right away, then at my next event, you're going to be bringing your laptop, because we're going to be doing on-site training to get your funnel set up right then and there. The cool thing about these events is that, not only are you given the funnel and you're given the action plan, but you're going to be setting up your own funnel to where you'll actually start making money almost instantly. The second you get home, you're going to be making money. So that's why these events are so cool, is that not only are you going to be getting the funnel, but you're also going to know exactly what to do with it. So you'll be brought through all the research process that I just sort of covered in this presentation, but you'll be given the exact funnel, so you don't have to find out how you're going to squander around to get this video, and how you're going to get all these pages together, and how you're going to get all of these sales pieces together and all this other stuff. The funnels are already set up for you, but you do have to show up. And the funnels are set up also for a variety of different hot selling products, to where you'll be able to start making money right away. But you do have to have an action plan and several steps, and being able to set the rest of it up, because you're going to be selling something, so you have to get the stuff to sell, and you have to know how to do all the other steps too. Not difficult to do, very easy to do. This is only for those of you that are interested in making upwards of $20,000 a day, and that's not a month, that's a day. And if you're a funnel failure, you'll probably only make between $15,000 and $20,000 a month. So only you know how important that is to you. I don't know how important that is to you, but I only want to work with my warriors. I only want to work with people who want to work, who want to roll up their sleeves and get this done and actually make this money, to whereas you only have your online business for a year, 2 years before maybe everything changes, or maybe the entire internet just crashes and burns. Who knows? I mean, I doubt that'll happen, but you don't know. But if you do this correctly, you set everything else correctly up, then you'll be able to actually funnel all your money into passive income real estate. If you do that correctly, then you will have absolutely no problem in your entire business, collapsing and crashing and burning. Because if you set it up correctly, you funnel all your money into real estate, then all of the real estate will carry you for the next several decades to come until you die, essentially. So you'll be making anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 a month just in passive income real estate, from the proceeds that you dumped into your real estate from what you made online. So that is the entire money funnel. Now it's your turn to decide if this is important enough for you to do or not. Your turn. This is Monica Main signing off, and I'll see you at my next event.